Coming up on Mountain News this morning, the Kentucky Senate passes a bill that could change how history is taught in the classroom, and farms here in the Commonwealth make some deliveries to give a bit more food security to hungry Kentuckians.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning, it's 5:32 and it's Friday, almost the weekend. Let's take it over to Brandon for a look at our forecast and a rainy morning. And Brandon, did you say earlier that the flood watch was over?
Part of it.
Okay.
Part of it. There's still a little bit left of the flood watch. Just one county in Kentucky, but our surrounding counties in the other states are still under until 7 o'clock. So we'll keep an eye on that and keep you posted. Anything else changes this morning, we are tracking some heavy rain on live pinpoint Doppler radar. Anywhere where you see those like brighter yellows and darker greens, that's some heavier showers moving through this morning. Just south of Hazard, coming toward us there through parts of Leslie County, over into Letcher County this morning, even southern parts of Knott County seeing that as well. I drove through part of that on the way to work this morning, back over toward Manchester there in Clay County, down toward Williamsburg and McCreary County, and Pine Knot there, McCreary County, down toward Jellicoe, seeing some pretty good rain this morning, spilling across the border into East Tennessee. So be aware of that as we continue to see this. Try to get out of here with a cold front coming through now. It was two different fronts. Warm front warmed us up. Cold front's bringing us back down there. 38 Irvin, 41 in London, 50 in Harlan, and 57 in Jonesville this morning. That's anywhere between 1 and 15 degrees warmer this morning. Actually 16 degrees more over in Logan. But you notice those temperatures on the western side where the cold front is coming through, even though they're still a bit warmer than this time yesterday, they're slowly going to drop as we go through the morning hours. Those numbers probably get less and less or closer to 0. Take a look at our planner for today. I don't know if we'll see sunrise or sunset, but sunrise is 7:10, sunset 6:23. Cloudy skies for much of the day, and temperatures stabilize this afternoon in the upper 30s and low 40s. Dakota?
All right, Brendan, thank you. The Kentucky Senate passed a bill aimed at regulating how history is taught in the classroom. Senate Bill 138 passed along party lines and will now head to the House for a vote. It would regulate how history is taught in schools when it comes to subjects like race. Opponents say it amounts to classroom censorship, but the bill's sponsor says it means it is meant to unify people. And different groups of Kentucky lawmakers are proposing plans to give bonus pay and tax relief. House Democrats are again calling for the Republican-led legislature to consider bonuses for essential workers. This while Republicans in a Senate panel quickly passed a one-time tax relief allocation. Our Phil Pendleton has more on the two proposals, both of which could end up in the state budget.
It's time for school, it's time for school. Wake up, children, wipe your drool.
Wendy Young is a teacher in Fayette County who said the pandemic had her finding creative ways to both educate and entertain students.
But I remember the first week of school, I stayed up 24 hours one time because I wanted to make sure that my students were prepared.
She joined labor union leaders and Kentucky House Democrats to once again ask the majority party to include bonuses in the state budget.
To join us in this effort to award the $400 million to these deserving workers.
We work tirelessly 10, 12, 15 hours a week, every day, nonstop, working hard, trying to get food out. If we didn't have any food, you guys wouldn't be able to eat right now.
Senate Republicans have been hinting at tax reform for several weeks now. And while senators say this is not tax reform, they do say there is a plan to hand out a $500 tax rebate to all taxpayers. The Senate Budget Committee had a special meeting Thursday morning that advanced the bill to provide the rebates.
So the refunds will begin to come out late spring, early summer.
Senate Democrats said they had not had time to review the proposal. House Democrats also say it's too early to say much about it.
Just have to look at it. It's a positive. I believe that there is some movement that way, but we have to look at the details.
Under the proposal, families could qualify for up to $1,000 in rebates. In Frankfort, Phil Pendleton, WYMT Mountain News.
The two issues discussed yesterday are in addition to several other tax relief measures discussed by the governor last week. One aims to lower vehicle tax assessments, and the other is a bill to temporarily lower the state sales tax by 1%. COVID testing has been an important part of the state's fight against the virus, and for the past 2 years, Wild Health has handled many of Kentucky's COVID tests. To get results, the Wild Health team works 7 days a week, sometimes 12 hours a day. Samples are delivered to their lab around the clock. In all, it takes a few hours for the technicians to prepare samples and for computers to read and register the results.
My job mainly is moving small quantities of liquid around, right? We're talking about 1 to 5% of a milliliter. So like minuscule amounts is all we really need because these machines are so sensitive. We can detect down to 10 copies of virus in your nose.
Wild Health usually tests up to 8,000 samples per day. Well, here's an interesting story that caught our attention. It chips away at the age-old question of what happens to us when we die. Well, a study is being done at the University of Louisville. A patient's unexpected death while being monitored revealed that in the 30 seconds before and 30 seconds after his heart stopped, his brain waves showed he was dreaming or recalling memories. It suggests that as we die, our last thoughts are a replay of moments from our lives, and recording those brain waves was a medical first.
And nobody had ever recorded from the dying human brain. This is the first time that we're doing that. So what we knew before were these experiences from people that tell us about near death, but nobody knew what the brain will do.
So when are we really dead? Well, researchers say we are still a long way from that answer. Similar findings have been found in studies on rats, but capturing that critical moment in the dying human brain remains almost impossible. As of 2019, officials with the organization Feeding America say about 13% of people living in rural areas experience food insecurity. Well, Sustainable Harvest Farm is a certified organic farm in Laurel County, where the owner cherishes his ability to supply the community. In doing so, he believes that people can feel more secure that no matter what happens with supply chains, there will be food available.
Selling directly to the customer is better financially for the farmer, and it's better for the people in the community too, because they get the freshest, best tasting foods.
Drivers from Sustainable Harvest Farm make deliveries to local markets primarily along the I-75 corridor. Well, looking for live music in Laurel County area, well, the 3rd annual Heritage Music Series is coming up. Now, splitting it up into 2 concerts, Grayson Jenkins and Laurel Lewis will be performing March 4th. On March 11th, Cole Chaney and Lance Rogers will be playing. Event organizer Jessica Blankenship says they will always try to keep things fresh.
We also partner with OTG, Old Town Grill here in London, and they're performing, or they are having heavy appetizers as well as a cash bar. So we're kind of partnering with them. That way you can have a drink, you can have an appetizer, eat, enjoy the show.
Well, Blankenship says both performances begin at 7 p.m. at the Heritage Hills Banquet Hall and Theater. London Tourism is preparing for the annual Burning Clover 10K Trail Run. The event will be hosted at the J.M. Feltner 4-H camp. It will take participants through Fraser's Knob, the highest point in Laurel County. Tourism Executive Director Kelly Burton says proceeds go back into the camp that makes the event possible.
Those proceeds will benefit Feltner 4-H camp. They are still recovering from the last couple years to support those campers to be able to come each summer. So anytime we can partner with nonprofit organizations, it is a win-win for London.
Tickets are $15. Burton says the event begins March 5th at 9 a.m. Well, something new is on tap for coffee and tea lovers in the Pikeville area. As Lincoln Road Roastery expands with some new flavors, our buddy Forbes gives us a taste of the new space.
From roasting it up to riding it out.
It's a good day for old Lincoln Road.
Something new is on tap at Lincoln Road.
The pandemic kind of shifted things for us, so we reimagined our business a little bit and opened up a completely new concept.
After reflecting on the business, Roastery co-owner and founder Ryan Jones wanted to expand its flavor.
Thank you. Appreciate it. It's a different experience with coffee or tea, because how many places have you been to that have coffee or tea on draft?
Kicking up the local caffeine offerings with a little nitro.
Okay, let's try that.
Bringing a cold brew bar to Pikeville.
From roasting it to brewing the product It is super fresh and unlike anything that you'll get anywhere close to here.
With plans to keep adding new things to the tap room on Hambly Boulevard.
So in the warmer months, you can come here and get something on draft, a coffee or a tea, and you can sit out with your friends and family. Outside in our sort of AR art garden is what we're looking to build here.
Jones says the roastery will continue to operate from the space as well, with fresh coffee beans also up for grabs during business hours. And the online presence will continue.
We have a product that is made here but distributed regionally and hopefully statewide.
On a mission to pour back into the community.
Hopefully the community will keep supporting and we can keep doing good things for our community and keep growing and expanding like we want to.
And offer something you can only find on the journey down Lincoln Road. In Pikeville, Buddy Forbes, WYMT Mountain News.
No hot or espresso drinks are on the menu, but Jones encourages coffee lovers to try their hot brewed coffee at places like Faith Life Market or the Lincoln Road Coffee Lounge in Norton. The tap room is open Wednesday through Saturday from 9 a.m. until 2 p.m. Well, just had this morning, fans of the classic military comedy show mourn the loss of a beloved actress. That's next.
Interactive weather will wrap up soon, but the flooding threat along the rivers continues into the weekend. I'll have the latest crest forecast for those rivers in about 3 minutes.